Big progress today, guys. The Hellas finally showed up from Europe. Take a peek at that. Built in December 2021. It is January 2022 right now. You're not going to get much more fresh than that. New light housings, new bulbs, reuse the ballasts. Everything else is new. So now with those in, we're putting back together the air boxes. We washed everything out in the sink a few weeks ago when we took this apart. These were pretty dirty. Same thing with the cabin boxes up there. We got the windshield cowl in. Wipers are back. He's chosen to kind of omit the firewall trims for now just due to their cost. But fresh filters in there. They were grubby, so we've got the Mon or Malai filters in there. We're about to put some fresh Hengst engine air filters in, and then we'll get the engine bay back together. I'm about to head out, taking Le Mans home today. Extremely productive Friday here at the shop. Let's get kind of an update here before I go home and do the usual. I think we're going to Naughty Barrel tonight. We're gonna get some dinner, relax a little bit. Most of the time spent between two cars, 545. We got the steering servo, pulled the old one out and immediately saw what happened to that. I already threw it in here. And of course it's not on top, even though it's the last thing I put in there. Anyways, the electrical connection on the servo was completely just sheared off the servotronic unit. So we dug around in there, found the wire with the electrical connector still attached. It just snapped off. Took off the old snapped off part, plugged in the new one, took the servo out without realizing that we really needed to drain the power steering system down. So we did it through the servo hole, waited till it stopped, cleaned it up, cleaned the O-ring, lubricated it, put it on, got in the car, fired it up. Steering is nice and light, feels fantastic. No more codes for that. We went from 64 codes to 14 after a few days working all the fuses from yesterday. And then from 14, now I think we're at 8. So one of those is the E-Box fan, the thermostat, that's 2. The rear climate control panel I talked about yesterday. So the list is getting smaller, and that's great news. The brake bleed appears to have been successful. Brakes are staying nice and tight. This guy's on the charger tonight. We got the clutch and flywheel, didn't have time to put it on. Stiffening plate has to go back on the 545. That's the front plate underneath that just bolts up. The hood's not touching, by the way. It's very close. But that stiffening plate goes on and under the front subframe. They tell you not to drive it without it. Then this guy, Dan's 01 Silverstone. The H arms came in today, swing arms, and they are installed. Holy crap, did that suck. I thought it would be intuitive to start with long ass ball joint bolt through the integral link and put that in, you know, just hand tight because it has to be torqued at right height, and then do the other ones. No. There's a ton, you know, these things, even if you raise up the wheel carrier, they're in they have a ton of tension on them, and there's no way you can get the bolts to line up and go through. So contrary to intuition, you start up there with the small one, and then you put in this guy. No, actually, we started with the small one, then we did that one, and then lastly we did this. Nate, you were right. For some reason, I thought we went 1, 2, 3. No, we went 1, 2, 3. So those are in, all torqued at right height. That is 189 pounds, and holy crap, does that suck to torque down. New links in. Rear suspension should be done. So we've got to get the exhaust on. That'll be progressive. We got the headlights. Headlights are installed. The cluster came back. Cluster's installed. So we've really just got to get, as I said, the exhaust system on the car, figure out what's going on with the key. It seems intermittent. Figure out what's going on with this washer pump up here. Fender liner, pork chop, ambient temp sensor, belly pans, test drive. And here these are. I've been looking for these for like 2 hours. Jesus. So that's today. Mike and I both didn't get out today without some injuries. I lost good grip of a wrench and it came and hit me in the head. It hit my light on my head. If it didn't hit the light, I would probably not be here. I would be seeking medical attention. So thank God it hit the light, didn't even break the light, but that really hurt. And then Mike was pulling on a swing arm and it came loose and hit him in the forehead, so he's got a big bump. Good God, what we do for these cars. But that's huge progress this week and the last 2 days, especially on the 545. There's a nail in the front right tire. We got to get that sorted. And then he's pretty much told us, like, go get it smogged and then put miles on it. Drive it, see what else it's going to need, see what's going to start leaking. It's been years since this car's actually been driven and put in service. So I'm going to head out. Talk to you guys later or tomorrow, Saturday.